what Roger did was uncalled for, and I know it affected a lot of people, but I didn't fucking do it. Like, because he's my son, and his father is a public figure, and they want to come after me. Like, and people automatically assume that I'm going to defend my son, and I'm going to like try to pay people off and get them out of trouble. I'm just as mad as Roger as they are.
Rampage Jackson spoke out about the situation with his son, Roger Jackson. He made it clear that he's not responsible for what happened. Jackson said the incident reminded him of problems he'd seen before in pro wrestling. He admitted that Roger's actions were unnecessary, wrong, and ended up hurting people who didn't deserve it. Jackson also pushed back against claims that he was involved or trying to cover things up. He said people assumed he would protect his son or pay to smooth things over, but that wasn't the case. Instead, he stressed that he was just as angry and disappointed as everyone else about what Roger did.
Honestly, I think this has happened in pro wrestling before. What Roger did was uncalled for, and I know it affected a lot of people, but I didn't fucking do it. Like, because he's my son, and his father is a public figure, and they want to come after me. Like, and people automatically assume that I'm going to defend my son, and I'm going to like try to pay people off and get them out of trouble. I'm just as mad as Roger as they are.
Rampage Jackson said he was especially angry because his son, Roger, lied to him. While Jackson was live streaming, Roger was hit with a can. When he called to check on him, Roger didn't tell the truth about being pushed into a fight for revenge. Jackson explained that if he had known, he would have told his son to go home. Especially since Roger had nearly been knocked out in the gym earlier. At first, lawyers advised Jackson to stay quiet about the situation. But once the story spread, he and his family started receiving racist messages and threats online, which left them deeply hurt and upset.
I'm just as mad because Roger lied to me, because I was live streaming when he got hit over the head with the can, and I called him. I was like, son, what's going on? Like, what you doing? And he didn't tell me nothing about them working him into a match so he can get his revenge, so he can get his payback. Because he know I would have told him take his ass home, because the day before he just almost got knocked out in the gym. So Roger know. And then so at first, I had to get an attorney and all that. And the attorney told me not to say nothing. And then I'm seeing everything unfold online. I'm getting all these DMs, and I'm like, now it's turned racist. I got racist people saying stuff to me in my DMs, which is okay. This happens here every now and then, just randomly somebody say something racist. But now I got the racist people threatening me and my family, like my other kids. I'm like, what does that got to do with race?
KSI admitted he wasn't sure at first if the incident with Roger Jackson and the wrestler was real, since wrestling often includes wild stunts like barbed wire or weapons. But once he saw Roger repeatedly hitting the wrestler after he was already unconscious, KSI realized it was serious. He said he heard about the can being used and that an apology had been made, but in the end, he felt Roger completely lost control and called the whole situation a terrible look.
He was just getting punched repeatedly while the guy was unconscious.
Your thoughts on the Rampage Jackson situation of Raja Jackson and the wrestler?
The Raja thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that mad. Honestly, the whole situation, I couldn't tell if it was real when I first saw it, because you know how sometimes in wrestling they like to do some stuff hardcore, like whether it's barbed wire or getting hit with things. But I saw it. He was just getting punched repeatedly while the guy was unconscious. So I was like, "Is this a bit?" And, I think I saw clips of beforehand where the guy or one of the guys was saying, you got to get your receipt on this guy because he hit him with a can, or he hit Roger with a can. But then I saw that they apologized. So I was like, I'm very confused. And then come to find out that, he just lost control. So, not a good look. Not a good look.
Brendan Schaub said charges should definitely be filed, calling it one of the worst things he's ever seen online. He explained that the wrestler was first hit with a can and then beaten even after he was already unconscious, which he felt was completely unjustifiable. Schaub added that if the state doesn't take action, it would be a major failure of the system.
Do you think they're going to press charges against him?
I think they should. It was one of the worst things that I've seen on the internet. You've got this guy. It looks like he was asked into this wrestling sphere. He gets hit in the head with a can. You can't just pummel someone unconscious and then not stop. This was an hour after the fact. Even if he got in the ring and knocked the dude out and the dude was unconscious and they walked away, different story. There's no way to excuse that. If the state doesn't prosecute that, that's a malfunction.
Rampage Jackson later said that after talking to his son, he realized Raja was in the wrong. He explained that Raja ignored his advice and got pulled into a pro wrestling storyline without being honest about it. Jackson stressed that his son is a fighter, not a wrestler, and had no reason to be in the ring. He admitted that everyone involved made mistakes, but Raja took things way too far. Jackson added that Raja knew better, especially since he had already told him to stay out of the gym for 2 weeks.
I don't talk to Roger no more, so I don't know.
Since then,
I talked to him. I heard his story, and I heard some stuff, and then after that, I learned a whole lot of stuff and about it and everything. Roger's wrong. He went against what I told him to do, and he hid the fact that he got roped into a pro wrestling store. Roger's not a pro wrestler. He's a fighter. He's not a pro wrestler. He had no business in that ring. Everybody there was wrong. And yes, my son took it too far, but he knows better. He knows he's wrong for getting involved in a pro wrestling match. He wasn't supposed to do it. I told him he couldn't even go to the gym for 2 weeks.
Rampage Jackson also said his son should be punished, but not with extreme charges. He believed Roger deserved some time in custody, community service, anger management, and therapy. When asked about claims of attempted murder, Jackson strongly disagreed, saying Roger was never trying to kill anyone and that calling it attempted murder was unfair. He admitted his son needed to be held accountable but stressed the situation was being blown out of proportion. Jackson made it clear he supported fair, reasonable consequences, not exaggerated ones.
Roger, I think that he should do a little time, do a little community service, and go to anger management class, see some therapy.
But that goes like some people said it was attempted murder and things like that. That's not a little time.
It wasn't attempted murder because he wasn't trying to kill that guy.
How do you know?
Because that's my son. I know my son. Roger wasn't trying to kill nobody. He wasn't trying to kill that guy. Roger probably didn't even know how bad he hurt that guy.
Aljamain Sterling also criticized the incident, questioning what Roger was thinking and calling his actions intentional. He pointed out that it all happened on a live broadcast, which only made the situation look even worse and, in his words, made Roger look senseless.
If you have a kid, what do? What was he thinking?
What was he thinking?
Premeditated. Has he never watched movies and films before to know, like, that is the ultimate nail in the
basically live streamed it.
He doesn't come off like a dumb kid. Now he definitely does, but it's like...
Shiel Sonnen said he wasn't surprised no arrests or charges had been filed yet, because the case depends entirely on Psycho Stu's statement. He explained that everyone in the wrestling event had already agreed to hit and throw each other as part of the show. The difference, Sonnen noted, is that in Roger's case it looked like he stopped performing and started actually trying to hurt the wrestler. Still, only Stu can confirm if it was intentional. Sonnen added that Stu has up to 12 months to decide, and until then, authorities can't treat it as a crime.
Are you surprised nothing has happened to him? Are you surprised there haven't been any arrests, any charges, anything like that?
No. They can't and they won't make an arrest until Psycho Stu says that wasn't planned. Everybody on the card that night said before the match they're going to beat the hell out of their opponent. Everybody on the card that night, winners and losers, hit their opponent. Everyone on the card that night picked their opponent up, threw him to the ground. The difference was they were performing. What was in their heart was different. It appeared that Raja stopped performing and started to try to injure a man. And that is the difference between the show and a crime. But when I say that's what it appears, only Stu gets to stay. The rest of us are marks. Only Psycho Stu gets to say that, and he has up to 12 months. I have a feeling he might drag this on, but they're not going to go just arrest him because they have a video of a pro wrestling match, and the audience doesn't get to decide what's real and what's not. The audience job is to be entertained and constantly fooled. So they don't actually get to say how bad this was. Only one person does, and that's Stu. And so far, he's remained silent.
Sonnen added that he spoke with Psycho Stu and believed Stu might hold off on taking action in order to protect both the wrestling business and his own image as a tough competitor. He explained that filing a police report could damage Stu's reputation and brand, even though there's a $1 million insurance policy that could cover the situation if it went to court. Sonnen also pointed out that Roger never went for a pin, which left the door open for possible future matches or storylines to come out of the incident.
I think he might drag it out.
Well, Stu isn't. I spoke to Stu.
Really?
People
Okay.
love Stu, back and forth. And he believes that if he doesn't protect the business, that he's hurting the business. He also believes if he goes to the police, he gives up his character as a legitimate badass. Meanwhile, if he takes that beating, don't forget he wasn't covered. It's not like Raja beat him. Raja never covered. There was no 1, 2, 3, and Stu could ask for rematches. He could spin that. He could turn that into something. Now, what do you want to do? They have $1 million insurance.